The RAF Regiment is more elite than the Parachute Regiment. They have more air specialists than the Paras, have seen more action, and are just more professional. Pretty much all of that is complete garbage, because when you compare selection, training, combat records, and respect, the truth is shocking. One is the most hated unit in the British military, the other, one of the most respected. The Paras are airborne infantry, elite soldiers who jump from planes and fight on the ground. The RAF Regiment, they're the RAF's ground fighting force, tasked with defending air bases and aircraft. On paper, they sound similar. In reality, the difference is massive. So comment now on who you think wins, maroon for the Paras or blue for the RAF Regiment. Welcome back to the war. Now let's start with selection, because this is where the gap becomes obvious. To join the Parachute Regiment, you face P Company, the final hurdle, 8 events over 5 days, the Trinasium, the log race, the stretcher race, and the infamous milling, 60 seconds of controlled aggression where you fight another recruit, just to name a few. The pass rate varies year on year, but generally falls between 20 to 40%. More than half of the candidates who attempt P Company fail. Some of these soldiers have already completed basic training and are physically fit. P Company breaks them anyway. If you have joined the Paras, P Company is usually around week 21. Now compare that to the RAF Regiment selection. They go through a basic 10-week phase 1 at RAF Halton, before going on to specialist training at phase 2, approximately 24 weeks at RAF Honington. It includes weapons training, tactical exercises, and physical fitness tests. It's challenging, no question, but it's not P Company, not even close. Pass rates are approximately 90%, but the RAF Regiment argues they don't need a P Company because their role is different. They're not airborne infantry, they're force protection specialists. Their training focuses on airfield defence, convoy operations, and counter IED tactics. Different missions, different training. Let's talk about equipment. Both use the same rifle. Both use the same small arms, grenades, and support weapons. On the surface, they're equipped identically. But here's the key difference: how they use the equipment. The Paras are an offensive force. They're designed to deploy rapidly, seize objectives, and hold ground until reinforcements arrive. They're shock troops. Their entire doctrine is built around aggression, speed, and overwhelming violence. They jump from planes into hostile territory and fight their way out. The RAF Regiment? They're defensive. Their job is to protect air bases, secure perimeters, and ensure aircraft can operate safely. They're not storming enemy positions, they're holding ground and denying access to the enemy. It's a critical role. Without them, the RAF can't function, but it's not glamorous. And this is where the reputation gap widens. Offensive operations get glory, defensive operations get overlooked. The Paras get headlines for taking objectives. The RAF Regiment gets criticised for guarding gates, even when they're patrolling, engaging the enemy, taking casualties. The perception is different. Now let's look at combat records, because this is where things get controversial. The Paras have a legendary history. The Falklands War, Goose Green. They fought in some of the most intense battles of the late 20th century. In Afghanistan and Iraq, they were deployed repeatedly, taking heavy casualties and earning respect. The RAF Regiment has also deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. They've conducted patrols, engaged the enemy, and taken casualties. In 2012, they were at Camp Bastion when Taliban fighters breached the perimeter. The RAF Regiment were part of the response, killing the attackers and securing the base. It was a textbook defensive operation. But here's the problem. Nobody remembers Camp Bastion the way they remember Goose Green. Defensive victories don't get the same recognition as offensive ones. And when the RAF Regiment does deploy, they're often compared to the Paras, and they come up short. But is this unfair? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. They're not trying to be the Paras. They're trying to do their job, protect air bases, and by that measure they've succeeded. No British airbase has been overrun while under RAF Regiment protection. That's not nothing. Now we get to the heart of the rivalry: respect. The Paras are universally respected within the British military. They're seen as elite, professional and capable. Other units might joke about them, but it's the kind of banter that comes with respect. Nobody questions whether the Paras are legitimate. The RAF Regiment? They're mocked, called rock apes, accused of being wannabe infantry. The jokes are relentless, and it's not just banter, it's genuine criticism. Other units question whether the RAF Regiment is necessary, whether they're properly trained, whether they deserve to exist. So why the difference? Part of it is selection. The Paras earn respect through P Company. Part of it is combat record. The Paras have more high-profile victories. But part of it is also perception. The Paras fit the image of what an elite unit should be. The RAF Regiment doesn't. So who wins this comparison? If we're measuring by selection difficulty, the Paras win. If we're measuring by combat record, the Paras win. If we're measuring by respect, the Paras win. On almost every metric, the Parachute Regiment come out on top. But here's the catch. This isn't a fair comparison. The Paras and the RAF Regiment have different roles. Comparing them is like comparing a striker to a goalkeeper. Both are necessary, both are skilled, but they're playing different positions. The real question isn't who's better, it's does the RAF Regiment deserve the criticism? And the answer is complicated. They're not as elite as the Paras, but they're not trying to be. They have a specific job and they do it. Whether that's enough to earn respect, that's for you to decide. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Now go check out our other videos on British military units. Hi soldiers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments, and check out our merchant membership programs. And don't forget to check back in again soon. That's an order.